And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Prior to playing Homebrewers, I would not have known that people had clubs where they brewed beer and got around and talked about it and stuff. But then again, there's probably a lot of people who don't get together and play board games and stuff. So you learn, and that's what this game is. You're part of a group, and you're trying to win a competition between you and all your friends as you try to brew things. This is a game about rolling dice, trading those dice, and then using those dice for actions. Trying to brew weird, all kinds. I mean, it looks like you're just going to your kitchen cabinet and throwing whatever flavor you can think in there. But that possibly might win you the game. Here's how it's played. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to pick their character that they're going to use. Each of these characters comes with their own biography, but they each have a special ability, and they have a different set here of jars, although you can play with no special ability, and you can put these tokens on and give everybody the exact same starting setup. But once you are deciding whatever you're going to do, you're going to put some Trub tokens in a few of your jars here. You're going to pick one of the 4 beers, ale, porter, stout, or IPA, that you're going to put a brewing token in. Each player is going to start with 2 ingredient cards, and everyone's going to get 3 dice. The game is going to take place over 8 rounds. At the beginning of each round, you'll turn over the event for that round. So in this case, it's Study with a Mentor. And then the round begins with everyone rolling their dice. Simultaneously, everyone will roll their dice and get different icons on these dice. You're going to be then able to trade the dice with other people if you want to. Now, one of the cool things is, if you ever have 3 of the same symbol, you can, for free, re-roll your dice. So when you trade dice, you just trade 1 die for another. So maybe I might trade this die to somebody else to get a 3rd die that matches my 3, and then I can re-roll them. And then I can keep trading or do whatever I want. You can also pay $1 to change a die to whatever side you want. Again, if you already had 2 sides like that, you can change it to the 3rd side and then re-roll them again. But once you're done with your dice, then you're just going to put them here on your board to show these are the actions I'm going to take, and you're done trading. Once everyone has done doing that, then the person who is first player will take their turn using the actions on their dice. So what do the actions do? Well, first of all, we have the take or play a card. When you take or play a card, you can take one of the 4 face-up ingredients that are on the side of the board, or the top one from the deck, and put it next to the ones you already have. Here I got milk, or maybe I would get chili. You can also play an ingredient card. When you play an ingredient card, you can do the bottom of it. So this, for example, let me play 2 hops. Or I can place it under one of my recipes here. So I can have my ale is now made with milk. This will give me a bonus as I make ale in the future. The cleaning token is going to allow you to clean one of your dirty jars. You just remove these Trub tokens from them, which is going to clear them out. The grain token is going to allow you to put grain in one of the buckets of your choice here. You can have multiple grains in a bucket if you so desire. The calendar token lets you take the action on the calendar. In this case, it's cleaning. However, you can always pay $2 and take the bottom action. So in this case, I could draw 2 cards, or draw and play a card, or play 2 cards. And these are going to change from game to game, the different ones that are on here. There's a special action that's printed on the board for Summerfest and Oktoberfest, and in fact, after those rounds, you're going to be judged on your beers. But speaking of which, that is probably the most important action, the brewing action. When you brew a beer, you need to spend a grain. You're going to be, when you're finished, put the grain as a Trub token in a jar, because brewing causes uncleanliness. And you're going to be moving up that track. So there are 4 tracks on the board here. You'll see each player has a bottle at the bottom of those tracks. And so if I want to make, for example, IPA, I want to move up on that track. And the way that I'm going to do that is I would spend the grain on it, and then I would go up spaces equal to the highest open clean thing I have. So this player here has 3, 3, and 2. So if all of these are full, then it's only going to go up 2. If they're all full, then you need to clean them before you can brew beer. But this person, for example, is 3, 2, 2, 1. This person has a whole lot more, but 2, 2. So the highest they're ever going to go up is 2. Not only do you get to move your token up, but you also get all the benefits of the ingredients that you have in here. So this one's going to give me $2, a victory point, and this one lets me pick anything else here, so maybe I'll take 2 victory points. If I did this one here, not only would it brew the stout, but it would let the IPA go up 1, as long as it doesn't go higher than 6. Not only that, as you move up on these tracks, as you pass these different things, these are randomly put out at the beginning of the game, you're going to get whatever bonuses on the different spots that you pass are. So if I was here and moved up 3, I would get another $1 and another $1, so 2 more dollars. Players can also pay $3 to take any action they want, an extra 4th action if they want to, or if they don't want to use an action on a die, they can forego that action and take $2 instead. Now, after Summerfest and after Oktoberfest, each of the 4 beers is going to be judged. And whoever is the first, second, third, or honorable mention place is going to score points. This is for a 5-player game, fewer points for a 4-player game, and 2 to 3 is printed on the board. And so just basically you're going to see who's the highest up. If someone gets all the way up to the top, nobody else can beat them in that spot. You can't go farther. In fact, you can't even brew a beer if there aren't enough spaces left on the track. After the final round, you're also going to score bonus points for each of these randomly chosen at the beginning of the game. So this says for each beer that I have all 3 different types of ingredients in, I'll score an extra 4 points. If I have 7 ingredients total, I'll get 4 points. If I have 2 in each one, I get 5 points. The components for this game are great. Take a look at these little bottles here. Not only are they different colors, but they all look different so that it's easy to tell them apart. I wish that these maybe were not just sitting on the board. They I don't know, they don't look as good, perhaps. I wouldn't have minded had they had some printed on the board, because I don't think it would have mattered too much to me. Which, I mean, it gives more variety to put the tiles on the board, but it's not that big of a deal. They have a score pad here. These are going to be different every game. You have these little reminders, which is helpful because there are things you can forget, that you can always pay 1 to change a die to something else, etc. And then each of the characters comes with their own special ability. So if you use these special abilities, you get this little bottle cap that you put on it, and then you just spend it each turn. So once during the action phase, you can pay 1 to raise the quality of your lowest beer by 1. Or this person can pay 1 to fully sanitize her rack. Or pay 1 to draw the top 2 cards of the flavor card deck, keep 1 and discard the other. So usually you have to pay $1 to use your special abilities, but they're really, really nice. The flavor cards themselves, I think every single one's different. Sour cherry, coffee, cinnamon, clove, maple, smoked, rye, pineapple, cranberry. You get some really weird flavors in here, I guess. The dice are really good quality. And yeah, just overall, I'm very impressed with the production value of this game. Okay, that's the game in a nutshell. It's a pretty light game in some aspects. You roll dice, trade them with other people, then use them for actions. It's not a complex game. The only action that really takes any kind of effort is the brewing, but even that's not complicated. And when you draw a card, you might say, I want to take that card or take one off the top or what have you. Man, there's so much about this I like. I like the trading the dice mechanism. That's great. Some of the dice sides you're not going to want. I don't need any more grain. I don't need to clean my dishes right now. So I don't want those sides. No one else wants them. So I can use money to change them, or I can try to trade someone else, get 3 of the same and re-roll them. Very rarely was I stuck with a horrible dice roll, and even if you do, the worst situation, you get 3 sides and you don't want any of those 3 sides and they're not the same and you have no money, which I haven't seen happen yet. But let's say all that happens, you can trade one of those dice in, get $2, and change the other 2 sides to whatever you want. So it all works out really well. I would not play this game with symmetrical people. I like the special abilities. I like how they're all different. It gives a good feel to the game, and it's a lot of fun. And you'll feel that everyone else's special ability is better than yours, but it's not true. They're all really cool. It will be fun to do all the different flavors. Again, I don't drink beer at all, but if I did, I guess I would try some of this stuff. It's really weird flavors, and that's kind of interesting. And those end game goals kind of point where you want. But it's also fun to see your engine get building as you brew the beer. It goes up a little bit, but then it goes up more. And then when it goes up, you also get money and this. And so then you try to get some kind of engine going where you brew it, put it here, then get the back end, brew it again. But the game also doesn't let you go over the edge with that because there is an upper limit. If you brew one beer all the way to the top, then you're done. And you got to work on your other beers. It's a simple game. Does not take long. 45 minutes to an hour. It doesn't seem to really slow down with 5 players. In fact, with more players, there's more opportunities to trade with people with the dice. Very impressed with this game. I like the components. The theme is interesting. It works really well. It feels like you have some interesting, fun decisions to make. The fact that there's a calendar die lets you change, and that die, essentially, that face changes every round. And in fact, one of the players has a special ability where they can use this calendar's, or they can use any of the previous ones. That's super fun. As the game goes by, their ability gets better and better. So it's really cool. Great artwork, too, if I haven't mentioned that. I like it a lot. The whole thing is a fun little game. That is Homebrewers. Dice Tower Judgment, approved.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching the Dice Tower.